Good morning. What's going on? I am just waking up. I woke up just a few minutes ago. And I watched a little TikTok, little tickety talk in the bed. And, I have been watching this content creator, Jade Amber, for a couple years, and one of my ex-associates at my job, who I was pretty cool with for a little while, but she started allowing insecurities and cocaine to misdirect her anger and her resentments for herself and the guy, the crackhead that she's dating. So we're no longer cool, but when we would talk at work to break up the monotony, we would get on topics of, viral TikTokers, and Jade Amber would be a lot of who we would discuss. And I could see that she was starting to question some of the things that I would say, because I said, she goes, "Oh, I love Jade Amber's hair." And I said, if you go on her Amazon storefront, you can buy her U-part wig. She doesn't wear a wig. So females like that, who are in denial about other females wearing different beauty products to look pretty, and people who defend strangers that they don't know, when in actuality, she's never made, this girl, Riley, has never made a TikTok. She has one or two videos on the internet that basically have no likes, no views. She doesn't promote herself, so she clearly knows nothing about content creating, but she allows other people to sway her opinion of me. And it's crazy how hate works, because majority of people strongly feel drawn to my positivity, my happiness, my love, like all the light that I shine, just being a genuinely positive woman. And when one evil, hateful, manipulative woman came into the picture at this place of business, it seemed as though everybody who was drawn to me as a friend started to not speak to me and back up. And, when one of my male associates, who is homosexual, began meeting me outside to speak with me because they didn't feel comfortable to speak with me in a specific building around a specific person, because this person might treat them differently, I began to understand that socially, some of the norms that adult women born in like the 50s and 60s had tried to carry into 2023. And some of these young 19, 21-year-olds, they were not raised and conditioned to treat people as they would like to be treated. And my grandfather from Jersey City, my mother's father, Eugene Napolitano, aka Nappy, he was from downtown Jersey City. He lived on 4th and Monmouth, and He knew a lot of people. He was exceptionally popular, and I was definitely his favorite grandchild, just like my dad's dad. They both adored me. And one of the things he taught me before he passed away was to basically that you get more bees with honey than you get. And he would say it all the time, and that's because as an American adult, especially now in 2023, it's so prevalent for people to be, walking around with disruptive, disrespectful attitudes, entitlement, lovers of self, and that's because we're getting closer and closer to the return of Jesus. If you read any type of literature beyond, scrolling on TikTok, if you read a Quran, you read a Bible, you have any type of spiritual enlightenment. I'm an extremely spiritual person, and I'm also very, very well read. Another thing I wanted to touch on is IQ. And there's this person who introduced themselves to me, about 19 or 20. Very spunky, very outgoing, but also very forced, very fake, and very phony. And this particular person, I met 2 or 3 times, continued to speak on having blessed days and being blessed and pronunciation and being well read. And I've said, why are you working here at this specific place for a minimum wage and dealing with all this crap if you're so exceptionally intelligent? Have you taken an IQ test? And we got into talking about IQ tests, and I said, I'm above average, I'm gifted. My IQ is in the high 140s. He goes, oh, that's nothing. My IQ is 180. I didn't even have to use a Google search or anything. I know with certainty people like Albert Einstein have IQs like that. So I knew he was lying. And it's just appalling to me that somebody so young would be so quick to engage in pathological lying. And, while all of this is going on, the young lady who was very friendly with me, we would talk about makeup, we would talk about lashes, we would talk about Jade Amber, we would talk about Icy Wyatt. She began to kind of cling to, she's so unintelligent and so, just not intellectual, not smart, has no head on her shoulders, just kind of like a bot, engages in devil worship and, things of that nature, doesn't believe in God, whatever you guys call that. These two get to talking, and they come to the agreement that her boyfriend isn't good enough. And, he starts talking about how financially the boyfriend's not doing anything, and the boyfriend calls her a whore. And, the biggest boss for the corporation that I'm at walks up, to check on everything. And the woman who gossips the most, these two, the other individual, they're all arguing, they're all whispering, they're all fighting, they're all calling each other whores and names and talking about who does coke, and the dude's telling her, leave him, I could treat you better. I'm leaving to go to my house, to spend time with Nala, and everybody's looking at me like I have all these defects of character, and this is a place that is not meant to be played around at. This is somewhere where, they're paying you to act accordingly. And then the following day, those individuals, because I was so not affected by their antics, because I would not participate in the disgusting things they were saying, and because I would not buy the fact that somebody that is working side by side with me and other people who are very just not low income, but like just getting by, that I didn't buy his antics about having an IQ of 180. I quietly and respectfully went about my way, and while all of these people were making fun of me, talking about me, saying how I don't drive, how, you know, it's going to be a long walk home, and do I want their umbrella, and, you know, the one young lady was like, if you ever became a manager like so-and-so, who would I let go, and who would I fire, trying to start issues and problems amongst, you know, what I would consider a team. And so my rant, or like my YouTube video today, my live, is about people who don't understand that when you are a team, when you work on any goal, whether it's you're, you know, trying to train your dog, whether you're trying to, you know, collectively move items into a shed at church, whether you and your kids are trying to organize a bedroom, or, you know, if you have a task to do that you're getting paid for with strangers, you're all on a team working towards one common goal. And in my opinion, I feel that these individuals are my friends. And I know that a lot of folks will say, you don't get paid to make friends, and, you know, it's a job. I still consider each and every person who I meet my brother and sister in Christ, because the way I was raised is like, we're all equal, and like, you know, if you're going to work and you're getting paid, we're all working towards one common goal. We're a team. And I feel in 2023, I've waitressed for 19 years, and a lot of females in general are hateful, hurtful, disruptive in the work environment due to looks. But I've seen even very, very pretty females get picked on, and I've seen not so good looking females get picked on because they had extremely good work ethic. And I think what has happened in my environment where I make my money is that when you bring relationships into the workplace that are sexual, and a female has a lot of sexual energy, meaning, I don't know, people just pick up on that shit. They question whether I'm single, whether I have a husband, whether I want to sleep with their man. And a 19-year-old had questioned whether I would sleep with her 19-year-old boyfriend when I have an 18-year-old son. So that is why I'm making this video, because I want everyone out there to know and understand that adult women with very young teens, like 18-year-old teens, me personally, because, you know, I have my wits about me, and, you know, I've been through different types of anger management, parenting classes. I've had a long life. I've partaken in a lot of educational classes, including counseling. Never once in my entire life have I ever lusted after a male who was young or white, after my children's father, or short or skinny. So, not to be disrespectful to this young lady and her relationship and her choice in men, but the gentleman that, like, in question, he is extremely, like, built, very frail. He's probably like 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", completely white, and I don't just mean like Caucasian, I mean pale, like, and not even like 21, totally not my type. And, you know, I'm not into drug addicts, I'm not into anybody who does drugs or drinks. You know, I'm into men who have a future, who smoke, maybe, smoke weed, smoke cigarettes, drink coffee, people that don't have drug problems or mental health problems, because I am in recovery and 2 dead batteries don't start a car. A young 18-year-old boy, 19-year-old boy, who this girl is telling everybody at work he can't even pay for her food. And they're all cracking on him, cutting on him, and the other young men who might find this girl attractive or can't get pussy any other way are trying to throw her man under the bus, and he's the joke of, you know, the dead. But because I'm not engaging, I'm not feeding into this, I'm not laughing, I'm not making fun of anybody, I become the discussion. And that's very childish for a 50, 60, 70-year-old woman to be wrapped up in conflict, confrontation, gossip, and hearsay with the 19, 20, 21-year-olds. And to have this skinny little rat-looking female with no ass, no titties, no body weight. I'm about 12 feet away from the old lady. The old lady is about 5 feet away from the young girl. And the young girl is running from my department to her department, back and forth, saying, what do you think about this? She said that, he said that. All the while, her boyfriend's calling her a whore, and they're discussing cocaine and how much he does and how little she does. And I'm just trying to do my work and make my money because I have children their age and a mother, the other lady's age, in the hospital. And I'm not trying to make them look bad and me look good because, like, I don't need to try. As far as the physical looks, I look better than all of them. And as far as emotionally, mentally, financially, and spiritually, I'm much richer than they will ever be. And when I speak like this, and I talk about these things, and, you know, I'm, you know, giving certain issues and areas of life attention, folks will try to group me into the category because they want me to be mean so bad. They want me to be disrespectful so bad. That way, all of my beauty, all of my intelligence, all of my hard work, all of my positive attributes can be kind of, you know, taken away by somebody saying, yeah, she's pretty, but her behavior is ugly. That's not me. And I'm not going to sit here and allow strangers who I've tried to befriend, I've tried to give attention to, I've tried to include in conversation that was positive. I'm not going to give any of them my time or my attention because, like, at the end of the day, you're not feeding me, you're not financing me, we're not fucking, you're not related to me, so, like, you don't count. Not only do you not count, but you don't matter. And you're nobody to me and nothing to me. And unfortunately, in order to maintain finances and to get a paycheck, I have to appropriately communicate and convey messages, whether it be a customer order or, you know, something to that nature. But other than that, baby girl, other than that, you know, I don't owe you conversation. And I think that is what the average adult Americans fail to realize. Like, for example, the creepy old men who come in and say, smile, show us your pearly whites, girl. I don't owe you anything except to fulfill the order that you're paying for. And if my boss tells me to do something, do it. You are a customer. The customer is always right. However, the only conversation I owe you is, what can I get you today? That's it. I don't have to smile. I don't have to wave. I don't have to talk about the weather outside. Literally. And, you know, there are a couple men that strongly dislike me because they try to fuck me. And I'm not beef. And men are pigs. That's what they do. But I don't let it distract me. I don't let it deter me from my work or my ability to work just as hard as a man. But I strongly dislike that men and women do not understand that in the workplace, I don't owe you conversation. I can smile. I can get my work done. I don't have to tell you where I live, how many kids I have, what school they go to, if I have a boyfriend, if I have a girlfriend. And I am the first person to get personal, to get friendly, to laugh with you, to joke with you, to talk about like talents, drawing, writing, reading, singing, acting, rapping, dancing. But I'm also the first person to know when to shut the fuck up and mind my business and get my work done. And there's a lot of people in certain circumstances, whether it's at a restaurant or wherever it may be, that I can work and move faster than if, you know what I'm saying, I can work harder, faster, better, and stronger while talking. And if you talk, you're not going to get anything done. So I can't even talk with you and work because you can't multitask or do two things at one time. I can't afford to, you know what I'm saying, get into any trouble. So I think a lot of folks out here, for them, whatever they do for money, it's just a job, because that's the type of word people throw around. Oh, it's just a job. But like for me, for Danielle, it's not just a job. You feel me? Like, I go to wherever my place of business is to learn, to interact, to be the best me I can be on a daily basis. And I feel very slighted in a sense that people will pretend to have a general interest in you and then turn around and gossip freely about you or who they portray you to be. And in 90% of these circumstances, none of them can even hold a freaking, like, a flame to like half of the woman I am. So I do find myself disappointed sometimes when interacting with adults twice my age and half my age, and I do feel slighted as an adult woman when I'm putting in 110% and other folks are putting in 30-40%, and they're jealous of me, even though if they tried, they could be just as good and if not better, but they're the only person that control it. I can't. So I'm going to come back in a little bit to do a get ready with me after I sweep my floors, mop my floors, and get myself together. But I just wanted to do a little gossip rant for those of you that know me and know everything I've been going through with my life, my sobriety, my recovery, my mom, my relationship. I'll be back.